Here's the famous Panda Express orange chicken with a side of fried rice. Today, we're gonna make it healthier. So the chicken here looks like it's been battered and fried. It's a pretty thick batter. You can almost see through the chicken right here. And it has a really glossy glaze on it. Let's give it a try. Okay. So there's a lot more batter in here than there is chicken. Ooh, I don't remember the sauce being this spicy. But if you guys look closely, there is a thick batter that's deep fried and a very tiny piece of chicken. Taste-wise, it's not bad. All right, now let's dissect the rice. Basically, your frozen vegetables, peas and carrots, little bits of eggs. I see remnants of green onions here. Pretty standard for fried rice. 1 scoop has everything in there, the egg, the carrots, the peas, so I have to make sure mine has a lot of the veggies in there too. I need water. The rice is so dry. And there's really not that much flavor to it. I think we could do better and healthier. First, the vegetables. I'm gonna start by first peeling the carrots. I tend to like to peel it, but you can leave it on, totally up to you. We're gonna keep it into small matchsticks here. I'm not gonna square it off like they did. This just looks better. Then I'm gonna chop up my green onions, making sure to use all the greens and the whites. The white part's gonna add a lot of flavor. Then we're gonna mince 2 garlic cloves, and then we have our peas, which we're just gonna cook up later. Easy peasy. So now I'm just gonna crack 2 eggs, whisk it up, and then we're ready to cook. So here I have everything to cook up the fried rice, and it comes together super fast. You always want to make sure to use cold leftover rice. It just separates a lot better, and I like to use jasmine rice. I'm going to heat up the wok onto medium-high heat. So as it heats up, I'm going to add some oil, let it get nice and shimmery. So the trick to making sure the egg doesn't stick to something like this wok is heating up the pan so it's really hot. That way it just like sizzles when it touches the pan. Season it with some salt and pepper, cook it up, and then we're gonna remove the eggs into another bowl. We're gonna save this for later. So now I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to the wok, and then we're gonna cook off our carrots first. I'm gonna cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's a little bit softer. Then we add our green onions, the garlic, and the peas. Cook it all together until it's nice and fragrant, probably for another 2 minutes. And then we're gonna add a little tiny bit of butter. Don't at me, Uncle Roger. This is just how we like to season up our fried rice at home. Then with the cold rice, I'm gonna dunk it right on top, break it up with my spatula, spoon, whatever you're using. Then we add back our eggs, season it with some soy sauce, sesame oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Give it a mix, making sure each grain is coated with a little bit of soy sauce. And that is my egg fried rice. Looks pretty good. We have our rice done, so now let's move on to the orange chicken. We're gonna start by making the glaze first, and it's just a combination of stuff you might already have in your pantry. So to a bowl, I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic, ginger, some honey for that sweetness, oyster sauce. If you don't have oyster sauce, you can always sub for hoisin sauce or just use soy sauce. This is optional. Then we have some soy sauce, rice vinegar for that little tang, and then to round it out, a little tiny bit of sesame oil. And of course, since this is orange chicken, can't forget our orange. I'm gonna use a fresh orange here, and we're gonna zest the whole thing. The orange zest really gives it that kick of orange that you really want to taste in the glaze or the sauce. Then juice the whole orange into the bowl. Now just give it a mix. Okay, then a quick taste to see if you want to add more salt or if it's perfect to your liking. It's really good. Theirs was a little bit spicy. I'm gonna forego the spiciness just because my kids are gonna eat this. But if you wanted it spicy, just add a little bit of chili garlic paste in there and you should be good. So now for our chicken. I'm gonna be using chicken thighs because it's just more flavorful and tender. We're gonna cut the pieces into small chunks, like about 1-inch pieces. Add it to a bowl, season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And now here comes my healthy twist. We're not gonna batter and deep fry their chicken like they did. We're gonna actually just coat it in a little bit of cornstarch to give it that outer crispiness when we cook it up, and just give it a toss. The cornstarch actually helps to tenderize the chicken too. If you can't can't find cornstarch, you can always use potato starch, but that's a little harder to find. Now let's get cooking. So now we're gonna cook our chicken in the wok. I'm gonna put it up on medium-high heat, let it get nice and hot, and add some oil. Instead of deep frying our chicken, I'm just gonna lightly pan fry it, adding the chicken into a single layer. Once you add the chicken in, do not touch it for at least 2 minutes. You want it to crisp up at the bottom so that you can move it easily. If you try to touch it before then, it's gonna stick, I promise you, and you're not gonna be very happy. So just leave it alone for 2 minutes, and when it's ready, it's gonna come right off for you. And once it's thoroughly cooked, we're gonna add our orange glaze. So let everything get really bubbly so that it could thicken up with that sticky, glorious, fragrant orange chicken sauce that we all know and love. So here's Panda Express's orange chicken with a side of fried rice, and here is mine, orange chicken with a side of fried rice. So in doing a side-by-side comparison, just looking at the fried rice, I thought they had a lot of mix-ins like the veggies because I had a really full bite, but looking at mine, it's visibly fuller. Like you could see the confetti of the carrots, peas, and eggs in there. You just get a lot more substance in my fried rice. And then now let's look at the orange chicken. I mean, the coloring is definitely the same, very similar, except theirs is kind of a blob of batter with glaze on it. A bunch of Glaze Michelin men. There's like a lot of blobbiness. I know I made this, but literally there's no contest. That orange chicken is delicious. You can taste the crispiness on the chicken still. The glaze is so flavorful with the orange zest coming through with the flavor. The rice is not dry, perfectly seasoned, where it complements the orange chicken and doesn't overpower or fight for the flavor. The butter in there was what did that. It helped just round everything out and just Not only was it healthier, I know exactly what went into my dish here, and it's just way more flavorful than Panda Express's. If you guys are craving orange chicken, it's totally worth making at home, and you guys can see how fast everything came together using stuff you probably already have lying around too. What'd you think?
Terrible.
Seriously?
It's disgusting.